Hi, what's happening, y'all? It's your boy Rico from Street Scores, and this is my official preview for this upcoming Week 1 2023 regular season debut game versus the Arizona Cardinals. Super excited, not even just because of our opponent, but so many things going to this game. Sam Howell's first official real start. I mean, he started one game against the Cowboys, but now this is his Pat Mahomes season. New offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. It looks like the Chiefs miss him a little bit, even though, I mean, Travis Kelce hurt, Kadarius Toney looking like the worst receiver in the NFL. A lot of things went wrong in that game. And then, of course, also Josh Harris is our new owner, Mitchell Rails, Magic Johnson, all of those guys. It's an entirely new era, so I'm just super excited, regardless of who the opponent would have been for this Week 1 matchup. I mean, first of all, football is back, y'all. I don't know if y'all realize that. For those of y'all that watch a lot of college football like I do, you know, this doesn't exactly feel like a big debut because we've been watching college football for like the past 2 weeks basically. But now this is like real NFL football. So if you're NFL only, this is like the big debut, man. And then the Lions and Chiefs had a great game to kick it off. Shouts out to that game. But yeah, man, typically with my game previews, I look at a lot of like top matchups and try to break down the other team's weaknesses and strengths and things like that. But the Cardinals barely have a team because they literally had a garage sale and literally just got rid of anybody that could potentially win them any games this season. They're clearly tanking for Caleb Williams. Their head coach just looks like a placeholder, or at the very least he's just giving them a placeholder like season because he doesn't even seem like he cares that much. But they've literally released or traded away anybody that could potentially cause them to accidentally win some games this year. So they're literally like not much of a team, so it's no point in really diving into that. And then also the Commanders have a lot of big time injury updates. Terry McLaurin is a full go. That's big time, man. Then we have Chase Young, who's questionable. Even his backup James Smith-Williams is questionable, so now we're elevating William Bradley King from the practice squad. That guy barely even makes our practice squads. Now he looks like he's going to be active on game day. So we have a lot to talk about, man. A lot of good news, a lot of bad news, of course, some injury updates for both teams, and let's go ahead and get to that. But before we do, make sure you stiff arm that like button, stiff arm that subscription button, and stiff arm the bell next to that subscription button so you get notification each and every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one. Make sure you pull up to the live stream. I will be live streaming. The game starts at 1 p.m. I'll start live streaming at 12:30, and we're gonna watch the entire game together. As much play-by-play analysis as I could do. We're gonna laugh, we're gonna learn, and we're gonna watch this Commanders victory together because I'm definitely predicting us to win. And of course I will also include that in this here video, my game prediction at the end of the video. But also, man, make sure you stay tuned with all of the content, man. I'm super excited. Pull up to every live stream. I'm having a call-in show live stream afterwards as well, so pull up to that. And without further ado, let's get it.
You tell your family you can be a commander.
All right, so first of all, we got some status updates for the Commanders. We have defensive end Chase Young with a stinger. He's questionable. I'm going to give y'all an update on that soon. Then also defensive end James Smith-Williams is questionable with an oblique injury. That's really interesting. And then in great news, wide receiver Terry McLaurin is a full go. Let's go ahead and talk about that. He will be a full go for Sunday's game versus the Cardinals. And that is huge news, man. Terry McLaurin being able to go just increases our chance. Even without him, I feel like we can win this game. And I just felt like even if he was a little bit banged up, it's not worth really playing him. I feel like we can win without him. I know it's the NFL and you got to respect every opponent, but if there were any game that we could afford to miss Terry McLaurin, it would be this one. But at the same time, it's looking like the great news is that it looks like he's ready to go. All the clips I'm seeing from practice and things like that, and it's not even like a slightly banged up Terry McLaurin. It's a full 100% looking Terry McLaurin, at least in the 90% somewhere. So I'm super excited. It's not even necessarily we have to look at it as the Cardinals. Should we keep him out? If it's not worth it, maybe we need to save him for next week's game or nothing like that. He's so healthy that it's basically as if he just never got hurt, really. And we wouldn't even be thinking about this. Like, we wouldn't be thinking about, oh, should we play our starting quarterback Sam Howell? He's fully healthy. Like, why would we even be thinking that? So Terry McLaurin is to the point of health to where he should go regardless of who opponent is. And I'm really happy about that. That makes me really excited. And then Ron Rivera said after practice today that the rapport that he and Sam Howell have is very important to them. Like, that's going to be a big part of the offense. I'm pretty sure Eric Bieniemy's banking on that. Terry McLaurin as a threat, as a weapon, as a leader, arguably the face of this franchise right now. you would love to have him on the field no matter what. And again, I'm just super happy to have him. That's great positive news. Now let's get to the mixed news / bad news right now. Right now, Rivera's hoping for the best news for Chase Young's visit with the doctor that happened earlier today, but we haven't received any update. He's an impact player, Rivera said. Doesn't anticipate a snap count if Young does play because of how much conditioning he's done. So because Chase Young has been keeping up with his conditioning and practicing his whenever he can, however he can, and things like that, if he's able to go, like if they clear him to play against the Cardinals on Sunday at 1 p.m., then he will not be on snap count. He's going to be a full participant, basically as if there's no injury in existence. But it's just up to the doctors to clear him. And then, of course, like I already said, defensive end William Bradley King has now been signed from the practice squad after we moved Dax Milne to the injured reserve. We're going to get to that. Dax Milne going to the injured reserve. Who's going to be our starting punter? All of that type of stuff. Who are our starting kick returners? Everything. I'm really excited to talk about that. But just to stick with currently with the defensive end position, we're now promoting William Bradley King from the practice squad to the 53-man roster and will more than likely will be active in the game. Remember, F.A. Obata's already on IR. I mean, we still have Casey Toohill and Andre Jones, KJ Henry. I mean, we have some guys, but man, I mean, you know we're thin when we're bringing William Bradley King up from the practice squad. And there have been some years where he doesn't even make the practice squad, let alone the 53-man roster. So this is going to be a very interesting situation. He's definitely some Chase Young and James Smith-Williams insurance, and we got to see if he's actually going to go out there and play. I hope Chase Young is good enough to go, but just like Terry McLaurin, if there's any question, it may not even be worth throwing him out there against the Cardinals to make an injury that's not that bad to where we even questioning whether he could play or not, to end up potentially making it worse, and we know for a fact he can't play in the following weeks. So we don't want to make something small something bigger. But Ron Rivera was asked if he would be comfortable with playing Chase Young, who hasn't practiced with contact for over a month, and should the doctor give Chase Young clearance for contact. Ron Rivera said, quote, "If the doctor clears him, we have a decision to make, and if everything points to it, yes," unquote. So again, Ron Rivera, doctor clears him, Chase Young is good to go. He's going to go out there like a full-blown starter with no injury concerns, no snap count, no nothing, no pitch count, no nothing like that. Now moving on, Dax Milne, man. The Commanders placed wide receiver Dax Milne on IR, and then that's was created the roster spot for William Bradley King, which is why I mentioned Dax Milne earlier. So that now means Kazmir Allen or Jamison Crowder, we got to watch to see who's going to be elevated for the game on Sunday. Jamison Crowder is the veteran, but he's new to this team pretty much. I mean, he's not new to the Burgundy and Gold. He's not new to the DMV area, but this is an entirely different coaching staff, entirely different players, quarterback, everything. So if anything, Kazmir Allen has an advantage over him offensively, maybe not necessarily punt return wise, because Kazmir Allen's an undrafted free agent rookie right now, and Jamison Crowder has actually done pretty well with punt returns, even going for other teams in recent years like the Bills and guys like that. So we'll see. I say Jamison Crowder has the slight advantage in punt returns, because again, Kazmir Allen literally did make this roster because of that third preseason game when he muffed that punt. But receiver-wise, Kazmir Allen, even though he does drop passes, Jamison Crowder is the veteran. He's clearly the better receiver to date, but Kazmir Allen knows the offense a little bit better. So, if anything, I would lean towards Jamison Crowder week 1 right now. If this were midseason, Kazmir Allen has proven that he knows the offense. He's gained better hands, not only for catching the ball as a receiver and as a punt returner. Then I would be like, for sure, Kazmir Allen, easily, in my opinion. But right now, week 1, Jamison Crowder gives us our best hope between the two, especially just punt return wise. I mean, I don't really expect Kazmir Allen or Jamison Crowder to either of them to go out there and be strong contributors on offense immediately. So who's our best punt returner is the way we need to be looking at it right now. And I'd probably go with Jamison Crowder, honestly, right now. So we got to see. But, of course, Antonio Gibson and Byron Pringle are your starting kick returners. So that doesn't affect that situation at all with Dax Milne going to the IR or anything like that. We already know who our kick returners are, but some people may not have. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and let y'all know it is Antonio Gibson and Byron Pringle. But punt return-wise, we got to see what's going on between Jamison Crowder and Kazmir Allen. Again, week 1, I got Jamison Crowder. Maybe later on down the line, I would prefer Kazmir Allen with his potential, with his youth and things like that. But I got Jamison Crowder right now. I'm not going to lie, easily. And then moving on, let's take a look at this Cardinals preview real quick. Well, first of all, Jason Wright already said that Magic Johnson will be at the Commanders opener versus the Cardinals, so that's going to be really fun. And then, man, the Cardinals are in shambles, bro. We're going to run through this pretty quickly because it's not really much to dive into. Like I said, they literally had a garage sale. If you have any chance of causing them to accidentally win a game right now, because they're taking for Caleb Williams clearly, you're gone. You're gone. They let D-Hop go a while ago. They traded away Isaiah Simmons and Josh Jones. I mean, like, it's literally like just Buda Baker left. Cole McCoy looked like he was starting to develop a little bit in practice. He looked like he was a starting QB. They cut him. I mean, once he started to show any bright spots, he had to go. Then you had Marquise Brown over there getting locked up by Byron Murphy in joint practices against the Vikings. I mean, he doesn't even necessarily look ready. I mean, I just don't know what's going on. And again, we don't even exactly know who the Cardinals starting QB is right now. Whoever it is hasn't been getting enough QB1 reps for it to even matter who they pick, let alone even just the talent. So right now, it's either Josh Dobbs, who the Arizona Cardinals literally just acquired a few weeks ago, or rookie 5th round pick Clayton Tune. It's between those two, which is just absolutely insane. Again, Kyler Murray is still hurt. So as of right now, I mean, their projected starting lineup is Josh Dobbs, James Conner, Marquise Brown, Rondale Moore, Zach Pascal, Greg Dortch, Geoff Swaim, and Trey McBride, because Zach Ertz is hurt. I mean, this is crazy right now because Hollywood Brown and Zach Ertz are both questionable. I'm not expecting them to play. And also offensive lineman Kelvin Beachum has been ruled out. Apparently he banged his hand or something like that. That's the exact quote. I don't know what's going on over there with those guys, man. But just an update for the injury report. Again, like I already said, Dax Milne to IR, James Smith-Williams, Chase Young questionable, Terry McLaurin and Benjamin St. Juste full go. Both fully participated in practices Thursday and Friday. They're good to go. Nothing holding them back. Pretty much as 100% as 100% can get. Again, Kelvin Beachum is out. Marquise Brown and Zach Ertz are questionable. And then you got Dennis Gardick, the linebacker, who's a full participant. He's ready to go. But man, there's barely much of a team left right now. I'm not going to lie to you, dog. Like, if we don't win this, we should be ashamed. I mean, everybody on NFL Network, ESPN, any sports analyst outlet, everybody's picking us. Not only just picking us to win, but picking us to win with scores like 30-7 and 20-something to a single digits and things like that. Like, everybody is picking us to win right now. I don't know if y'all listen to the Chris Sims podcast, but both him and his co-host picked us to win by a nice margin, and also picked it as their best bets, like the one of the locks of this week were the one that they are the most sure about happening. And then again on my end, I mean, as a Commanders fan and analyst, if we can't win this game, what can you win? You know what I'm saying? It's a long season. You never know, you can improve. But if you can't beat the Cardinals, who literally, again, my point is, first of all, the question is, can they win? Do they even have the talent? Again, anybody they had on that roster that could potentially help them win, they got rid of, except for Buda Baker, literally. And then, do they even want to win? It literally looks like a full-blown tank for Caleb Williams right now. So what would they even gain in going 1-0 just to finish the season 1-16, basically? Or really at best 3-14 or something like that. There's no point. You might as well just go ahead and get that first overall pick to get your starting quarterback in the future. Just go ahead and let Kyler Murray go. Bring in a new offensive coordinator that Caleb Williams picks, because it sounds like Caleb Williams, I'm hearing reports that he may not even enter the draft. He may stay another year at USC if he ends up potentially going to a bad situation. So basically, you got to let Caleb Williams have the LeBron show. Let him pick the GM. Let him be the GM. Let him pick the head coach and everything, I guess. But either way, I mean, all of this tanking effort may be for absolutely nothing, but I believe they're still going to do it because, again, you got to go back to the question, can they even win, on top of the fact, do they even want to? Also, before we get up out of here, Commanders limited partner Mitchell Rails is sending his private plane to Florida to pick up Sony Jurgensen, Billy Kilmer, Jim Hart, and their spouses for Sunday's opener. Flying commercial isn't feasible for Jurgensen given his health, but Rails wanted to be able to attend alongside other Washington legends. Rails' plane will take them home afterwards as well. That is crazy. That is great news. This fan base has literally been waiting for things like that for over 20 years now. Basically, my whole life. I wasn't alive to watch any of the Super Bowls, so I've just never heard of an NFL owner of the burgundy and gold ever doing something like this. I mean, we've just been under this tyranny of Dan Snyder for so long. I forgot owners could even do things that nice and that cool. And then also, because we have so many minority owners involved, Mitchell Rails being one of them, Magic Johnson being one of them, even though Josh Harris technically runs the show, we have other guys that can contribute in a lot of great ways on top of that. So not only is Josh Harris better than Dan Snyder just by default, but then you also have Mitchell Rails, Magic Johnson, and so many other guys that can also help make this team just a better team, man, a better soul to it, a better heart. Like that, like Mitchell Rails literally doesn't have to do that. So man, this Josh Harris group has already done more for this fan fan base for this team, for the Commanders, Redskins, Washington football team, burgundy and gold legends than Dan Snyder ever has, man. And I'm glad that they're keeping Jason Wright and letting him get another go at it, because I feel like it's unfair to judge Jason Wright's history so far with the burgundy and gold under Dan Snyder solely. Let's see what he could do under Josh Harrison. So far, they've been doing a lot of things right. And then now back to actual football. My score prediction, I have us winning 24-6. I just can't see how they can score a touchdown on this defense, even without Chase Young. With that offense, dog, I just don't see it, man. I really don't. I don't get it. The injuries, Zach Ertz, even if he were healthy, is just getting up there in age. And again, he may not even play. I literally don't see it. Their only notable receiver, Marquise Brown, is also questionable. So even if he can play, will he even be 100%? And then even with him being 100%, I mean, the Ravens didn't appreciate him that much. And then again, he was getting locked up in joint practices with the Vikings. And then who was the quarterback? And it was funny too, because even Ron Rivera was asked about why the Cardinals haven't named a starting quarterback yet, and he said, I wouldn't either at this point, basically, which is really funny. And I like that comment from Ron Rivera. I mean, literally, whoever you throw out there, it doesn't matter. Josh Dobbs has been there for just literally a few weeks, like 4 or 5 weeks, not even that. And then the other guy's a 5th round quarterback pick that I didn't even realize went drafted. And I didn't even know they had him on their team until I started doing this preview. I didn't even know who Clayton Tune was until like a couple of weeks ago. Again, Colt McCoy was getting like most of the starting snaps for a lot of the time, and then he looked terrible. We were seeing a lot of terrible clips coming out of practices, and then once things got quiet, maybe he was a little less terrible. And they're like, oh, nah, you look like you're trying to potentially win some games for us. You got to go. We're trying to get Caleb Williams. I mean, it's bad. Again, the garage sale to get rid of Isaiah Simmons, Josh Jones, D-Hop. I mean, it's just bad, dog. They literally gave away all their playmakers, man. And they get Kyler Murray's hurt, which is why we're even in this situation with the quarterback. This is dark, man. We should definitely win this game. I don't see why we wouldn't. I don't see how they can actually score a touchdown. I can see them getting in field goal range like twice. That's where the 6 points come from. And I feel like this is going to be one of those games where we could score more than 24 points, but I think we're going to be happy to get away with 24 points, especially since Terry McLaurin, he scared us. We weren't sure he was going to be ready to play week 1. So I think we're going to take our foot off the gas and just run the ball a lot once we get a nice lead. I really do. I would love to see us sling the ball around all day and try to put up 40 on them, and I think we have the talent to. I think we even have the offensive coordinating to do so as well, but I just don't see us doing that, especially with Ron Rivera still as the head coach. I know Eric Bieniemy is like the main strategist right now, but I still see us running the ball once we have a decent enough lead, so I don't see us putting 40, but I think we could. I think this game could get really out of hand. I think the Commanders are strong playoff contenders, and again, the Cardinals are the worst team in the NFL. Like literally the worst. Like #1 pick overall should be guaranteed. We might as well go ahead and mail it in bad. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video. Please get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this matchup. What is your score prediction? Also, of course, man, please stiff arm that like button, stiff arm the subscription button, stiff arm the bell next to that subscription button so you get a notification each and every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one. Again, make sure you pull up for the live stream. I will be live streaming the entire game, and then I'm gonna end the stream to do my game review video, and then I'm gonna come back with a game review call in live stream where y'all call in. You watching this video, yeah, you can call in and you can voice your opinions. Everybody will have a 3-minute timer to say everything that they need to say. Big up some players, complain about certain players, the coaches, decisions, things like that. Talk about injuries, whatever you want to talk about. If you want to make fun and laugh at the Cardinals, or even talk about our next opponent. So man, make sure y'all stay tuned. Of course, shouts out to all of my supporters, shouts out to all of my sponsors, especially my Pro Bowl sponsors names you scrolling on the screen right now. I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'm out.